I'm going to make German potato salad tonight. I love German potato salad. I grew up eating it. Um, all it calls for is potatoes, onion, bacon. I did buy the peppercorn bacon just because I wanted that anyways for something else. So we're just going to use some of that. It's like 4 slices of this. White sugar, vinegar, and salt and pepper. You can get fancy and throw some parsley in it, but otherwise, this is all that is to German potato salad. So I've cubed up the 1.5 pounds of the little baby potatoes. And all we're gonna do is throw some avocado oil, or whatever kind of oil you wanna cook them with. Get them a good, I have bigger baskets. This is just the one I grabbed. It'll all cook, it's fine. We're gonna cook this in the air fryer though. It is hot, so I am not wanting to turn the oven on or to boil them. So we're gonna put some salt and some pepper. Give them another little toss. And I'm gonna put them in the air fryer and we're just gonna cook them. Like I said, you can boil them or you can bake them, put them in the microwave. Your choice. You just need, it says 3 cups. This is probably a little bit more of potatoes. I've got the onion diced up and I have the pepper bacon in the skillet. And we're just gonna go ahead and get this cooked. We'll cut up the bacon and then we'll make the dressing out of the bacon drippings and all the other ingredients. Guess who? He knows. He just knows when I'm cutting up peppers and onions. I went ahead and pulled the bacon and you've got the grease left in the pan. We're gonna go ahead and cook the onions in the bacon grease until they're soft. Once the onions have cooked down with the bacon grease, we're gonna add in, and I doubled this part of the recipe. So instead of a 1/4 cup of vinegar, I have a 1/2 cup vinegar, 4 tablespoons water, 3 tablespoons sugar. And I'm gonna give it a stir because my sugar has settled to the bottom. And we're just gonna pour that in. Now at this point, let this come up to a nice bubble, and it looks like a lot. It's gonna reduce, and then you're gonna coat all those potatoes. And remember, it's quite a bit of potatoes. Mom and I made it the last time when we both looked at each other and said, it's good, but boy, are we gonna double it the next time. And that's kind of what we've been doing since. So anyways, let this come up to a boil and we're gonna let it reduce just a bit. It'll thicken. Okay, this is reduced just a little bit. We're gonna add the potatoes in. Give them a good coat. You're gonna let this continue to heat. So this way the potatoes absorb the flavor. And we're also gonna add in the bacon. So everything gets coated in that sauce, if that's what you want to call it. The dressing, how's that? And sometimes potatoes are thirstier, so there's also always that. I told Mom that potatoes, one of the times we made them, were really thirsty because we had microwaved them, I believe, and then sliced them up, and they were very dry, and it literally sucked that dressing up into them, and we needed a little bit more. not that you need to know how to do this, but I'm gonna do brats. If you don't feel like cooking out on the grill, and I don't, it's hot out, I've got a little bit of water, and we're just gonna put them in, and I'm gonna put a lid on them. They're gonna steam cook, and then once they've cooked enough, we will get rid of whatever water. Okay, I know they don't look pretty, but this is after I have got them cooked. They're just a little bit undercooked in the middle. We're gonna throw some oil in, and then the peppers and onions I cut up, we're just gonna throw these in. And we're just gonna let this all cook together. And then all of the brats will get a nice caramelization on them. And the peppers and the onions will all cook down. One extra little thing. I'm gonna add some salt. This just helps with the peppers and the onions softening. Our weather has not improved any, so I'm going to probably throw some wings in the air fryer, but I'm going to make a bean salad, and we still have a little bit of the German potato salad left. So we're just going to do some cannellini beans. I've got 2 lemons that have seen better days. I want them out of my refrigerator. Some tomatoes, celery, carrots, radishes, some green onion, and I've got some avocado oil and some garlic and herb. Now I'm just doing 1 can of beans. I'm just making enough so we have it. Like I said, we still have German potato salad left. And I used all my peppers the other night. So this is just what we're gonna throw in here, but you could throw literally anything in here that you just have in your refrigerator. So that's kind of what we're doing. But as you see with the celery, I cut it 1 stalk into 4. And then I'm just dicing it up. This way we have plenty, but I also at the same time want to make sure that it's bite-sized. It's the day after 4th of July, and we buy potato salad at the grocery store. We buy it at Meijer's. It's the mustard. But then we embellish it. So we put in celery and carrots and radishes. We've been known to throw in pea pods. It just, whatever's in the refrigerator that'll make that potato salad crunchy. And then we throw in some of the Kinder's garlic and herb. Now Mom uses the salt-free one, or no salt, but I have just the regular here. I'm probably gonna do both stocks. I'm gonna eyeball this as I go. So for the carrots, I'm gonna cut them in half again, and then just dice. And as always, guess who's here? And guess who will eat carrots? Child is not picky. But like I said, we're just gonna dice them small enough so that they'll fit on your fork. For the radishes, I'm gonna cut off both ends. Have you ever eaten cooked radishes? I absolutely love them roasted in the oven. And I cut them very similarly. My mom halved them and put them on the sheet and roasted them. They work better if you cut them into real small pieces. So I'm dicing these the same way that I diced celery and I diced the carrots. Like I said, I just want bites of it. So I'm doing 4. I think that'll be enough. This is just really not clean out my refrigerator completely, but I'm trying to get some variety of vegetables in here. And since I used up all the peppers the other day, they needed to be cooked and they needed to be used. So, and I didn't get any more. So these onions are not the greatest at this point. So we're just gonna cut up as much as we can. I had to cut off quite a bit of the green at the top. And we like onion. And the green onions are really mild, but my bowl is filling up, and that was not really my intent to overmake this. The other thing that would be really good is, and I can't do this, my husband wouldn't appreciate it. For like if I was making this, this could be the base, and you could add tuna to this, you could add some canned salmon to this, you could add some chicken to this, and it would be absolutely delicious. He had just made the comment a couple weeks ago he'd like some bean salad, so this is my version of bean salad. I was going to add tomato, but I have managed to fill this bowl up, so I think I better stop. I'm going to add in the garlic and herb seasoning. And I'm going to start squeezing in the lemons and seeing how much we actually get, because this is the acidity for it. And I ended up making more than I thought I'd make, of course, because that's how this works. Add the second one. You can always just use vinegar if you don't have any lemons to use up. Let's see how that works. We'll give it a stir. And then, very simply, we're just going to add some avocado oil. You know, this was just an idea to get stuff out of your refrigerator. And for me, I always have one vegetable, because I try to buy them in stages, but I always have one vegetable about to go out. And it was the green onions and the lemons this week. You know, hindsight is always better. I always come up with all these brilliant ideas when I'm in the grocery store. By the time I get home, I don't want to make them all. So, that's going to be our bean salad this week. And as I've told you all before, I taste everything. Might be trying to get a little bit more lemon out of some of these. Needs just a little bit more acidity. I have lemon juice in the refrigerator, so that might be going in here as well. Just needs just a little bit more, but as I've always said, I like a bite to my vinegar bases, my acidic bases, and I just really like that. This will also taste better the longer it sits. Let's see, it wasn't very much, but that's a little bit better. So maybe a tablespoon or two of lemon juice, and this will be perfect.